Yo, what's good? What's good, Bruce? How you doing, Bruce? How you doing? I'm back, baby. Now we gotta address this off rip. Dang, Knicks was that mad, making you go into hiding. Now that they won, you back. SMH, hello, good sir. Good to see you. You were missed. Thank you. I miss y'all too, man. I miss y'all too. I'm be honest. I wish I was here to vent to y'all during all of that shit. I swear to God. I swear to God, it would have been. It probably would have been real good for my mental. It probably would have been real good for my mental. 3-2 all I'll say. Hey man, we gonna talk all about it. We gonna talk all about it. I don't know if y'all can hear. I lost my voice. I lost my voice. Our homie had a beautiful wedding. A beautiful wedding. I lost my voice during the wedding. I lost my voice during the wedding. I swear to y'all, I was gonna come and hang out with y'all Wednesday night during the game, but I had no voice. And yesterday, I was tossing around the idea of going live during the Knicks game, but my voice was not all the way back still. So I was like, fuck it. Let me just, you know what I'm saying? Let me just rest the vocal cords. Let me just rest the voice because I still sound like shit. But I was like, let me just rest it for the 2 days. Luckily, them boys won. So we'll get into all of that. But welcome to another episode of the Jayson Estrera podcast, where we talk about basketball as accurate as possible. And like we just said, I am finally back. I swear to God, I was not ducking the Knicks Indiana Pacers series. I swear. But you know what I'm saying? You know, fans are crazy, right? Fans are crazy, myself included. I swear, the games where I watched the Knicks while I was in New York, they lost those games. And the game I did not watch, which was the game on Sunday night, which was the day of the wedding, the night of the wedding, they won that game. I missed game one. I mean, I watched game one, lost, blew that shit. We'll talk all about it. But then I don't watch them Sunday night, and then all of a sudden they want to win the game. And then I come back and they finally get another win. But that's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother conversation altogether, right? That's a whole nother thing altogether. But yeah, man, shit. Yeah, it was oh, and then I watched them Tuesday. And I saw that bullshit. So maybe it's just something about me being in New York watching the games that it just causes them to lose. I just got to be back home to watch the games. Maybe that's all it is. But it was a great time. I'm not going to lie to you, though. I was really glad I was with friends and family. Because, like, I might have crashed out. Man. Like, that shit was wild, but I had a great time. New York was fun. It's always good to see, friends and family. It was dope. We had a great fucking time. My guy. Hey. How you doing, Elijah? How you doing, Elijah? Your boy lost his voice during that wedding, bro. I was turned the fuck up. Oh, before we get into basketball shit. My brother, right? My younger brother had turned 21 a couple months ago, right? And so I didn't get a chance to go back home. So we were back home, obviously, last week. And so one of the nights we decided to take him out. Right, take him out drinking properly, right, with my friends and I. I don't know if y'all remember, but I blacked out during Lincoln Park like last summer. And so my brother just turned 21. Anytime before that, he'd only seen me drink at home. He'd never seen me outside. When I tell you this kid was like, yo, is this how you really are outside? Bro, he was tripping out. And my friends are so funny because they're like, what you mean? Like, this is the only version of Jayson that we know. So he got to see that side of me. So that was a lot of fucking fun. He saw that side of me. I got lit. I was in the toilet just throwing up from fucking like 5 in the morning till like 9 a.m. So I guess it was a good time. And then we turned up some more over the weekend. Long story short, it was a great week. We had a ton of fun. Oh, speaking of which. I got a lot of stories, man. Honestly, I could listen, man. There might be more. Maybe we'll tell some of these stories later on. But our boy that got married, right? Unbelievable dude. And like I said, we were there for the wedding, and to obviously see our friends and family and all that stuff. So the week was not for me. It wasn't for us, right? It was for the bride and the groom. And so we had to see them Monday morning because we had forgotten some shit. So we were trying to drop it off. Bro, he looks at me. He's like, I want to give you something. And tell me how this man gave me a signed Allen Houston jersey that he'd been holding for like 20 years, bro. 20 years. Signed Allen Houston jersey. He had like won something. He had won something when he was younger. Got to meet Allen Houston, and then they shipped him the jersey. So just great people. I had a phenomenal week. I hope y'all had a great week as well too. But that's enough of my bullshit. We gonna get into these games. Let's start with the series that's already over, which is the Minnesota Timberwolves losing to the Oklahoma City Thunder. And this series was not really close. Let's just call it what it is. This series, it was not close, and a lot of people are talking about Anthony Edwards, because of sort of what happened in this series. Wait, what the fuck just happened to my thing? My hats actually made dip. He seemed like a good dude. Huh? What you mean? What you mean your hats? What does that mean? What does that even mean, bro? But this series wasn't close. Where do I start? We got to start with the star of the series for the Minnesota Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards, because a lot of people are going to compare him and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And oh, that's actually dope. He seems like a dude. Nah, he's the best. Actually, the fucking best. I was speechless, dog. I was speechless. Like, I was like, you just had a wedding. Like, how am I getting something? But I was speechless. It's phenomenal. Good, great people. I can't wait to get it framed. But Anthony Edwards did not have a great series, and did not have a good game 5, in my opinion, at all. Right? 19 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 3 turnovers. 7 of 18 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3, 4 of 6 from the free throw line. And it was 26-9 at the end of the first quarter. 26-9. And maybe this is just like a me thing, but 18 shots isn't gonna cut it. 18 shots, it's not gonna cut it. And there's some people that I know, we've talked about this all year, right? Where you can't, you don't want to be a ball hog, or you don't want to be this, that, or the third. The Oklahoma City Thunder, this game was over after the first quarter. It was over after the first quarter. They won by, what is that, 30? They won by 30. Or 40. No, right? No, that's 30. Yeah, 10, 20. Yeah, they won by 30. Even in a blowout, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander put up 25 shots. There is just a massive difference between Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as a player right now versus Anthony Edwards. And Anthony Edwards needs to sort of look at Shai, and that's where I need to get to. The ability to put up that many shots consistently, because that's how you apply pressure on the other team. It's just what it is. I don't like Ant, but I like to be objective. He's a player wins to be objective. A player wins. He is as good as Jordan in the top 5. When they lose, they are everything bad. I just don't like it. Like, it looked like they gave up. And you're looking at the post-game press conference, and Anthony Edwards, we doing this for Mike. We going to be back here next year. It's like, I was watching Kenyon talk about this, and he was getting frustrated because he's like, there is no guarantee you get back to this point. And to have such a nonchalant sort of response to it, to some people, is alarming. When he talked about Shai is the MVP, a little alarming. When you talk about Jokic is the best player in the world, and then you have to correct yourself and say, other than me, it's a little alarming. Because, yeah, we don't want to compare everyone to Kobe, Jordan, or whatever, but those guys never publicly said those things. They'll give great players credit, but at least somebody will have to correct me, but nobody, they never said that anybody was better than them. That thought never even seemed to enter their mind. And it could be nitpicking, but it does show a little bit as to who Anthony Edwards is. And maybe he's young, but certain things people have and certain things people don't have. And this might just be one of those situations for him. Exactly. I said he's immature all year long, and I was told to shut up. We were on he was a roller coaster ride all year. We're going to call it what it is, right? This season for Anthony Edwards was an absolute roller coaster ride. And I'll give him credit. Because he played really well at the end of the year, and so did his team. And to have the change that happened at the start of this season, which was trading his duo, his sidekick, Karl Anthony Towns, that's a massive change. And to go through the whole year and end up in the Western Conference Finals, I think that should be applauded at his age, right? But I'm speaking more so, or we speak more so in how can he get better in the future? How can he, moving forward, improve on the things that he did not do well or the team did not do well? And that's where this conversation comes from, because we expect more out of you, Anthony Edwards. We don't look at you like you're Jaden McDaniels or Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Your name got mentioned next to Michael Jordan. Expectations are different. And that's just the reality when it comes to him as an individual. And hopefully he can turn the corner and make a change, because I think he's super talented. There's maturity that comes with winning, and you need to unlock full potential. Not you, but people didn't care because he was winning. I will say his team looked dead in the water. I thought midseason they were cooked. Even he did. He said you just get to the playoffs and see what happens. But it's what you said. How can you be better? And there's things to take away from this year, right? There are absolutely things to take away from this year. We're going to look at how he can consistently be in the 20 to 25 shots a game range. Because if your game is predicated on shoot a bunch of threes or get layups, and that's all you're looking for, and you're not looking for the mid-range game, the shot's going to be a lot harder for you. So if you're taking 25 shots on a bunch of threes and layups in the playoffs, 9 times out of 10, those shots are going to be extremely difficult. So him really expanding his mid-range game, in my opinion, is what'll allow him to take a lot more shots. So let's get to the clips. This is where the fuck is this dude at? Whoa, this is hella shit. You gotta play smart. Let me look for shots for Shai. Floating jump shot, running dunk. Here, let's see where this pull-up looks like, because I want to show y'all the difference in, I think, a very simple move that that Anthony Edwards could add to his game, and it's right here. Right. We've talked about how Shai Gilgeous-Alexander does a great job of using his body to create contact and hit shots, right? And this is something that he does all game long. I think he's in our game right now the best player that uses his shoulders, right? There's some people that'll argue that he extends his arm or whatnot, but I genuinely believe that he is the best player in the game that uses that offhand to create space without fouling, right? And I'll show you the difference between what he does and what Anthony Edwards does consistently. Gets here. He's trying to set up the step back right here, right? Because he sees Zach Edey, obviously, so you can't really just cut through this. So the only shot is a step back. Takes another step, creates contact, and hits the shot. tell me what you guys see the difference is between what we just saw with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander right there versus what Anthony Edwards does on this play. And granted, Lou Dort is a very different player from Scottie Pippen Jr. But let's see this right here.
It over to Edwards. Edwards drives on Dort, steps back, fires away.
At no point does Anthony Edwards get into the chest of Lou Dort. And Lou Dort is an anomaly because Lou Dort is not only extremely strong, but he moves his feet really well. And so one way to try to neutralize him as a defender is to create space by getting into his body. And when Anthony Edwards hits this move and takes a long step back corner three, this is a really, really difficult shot. Now imagine he took another dribble, got into Lou Dort's chest, and then took a side step right here in the short corner. It's still a step back, but it's a much easier shot than taking a long three-pointer.
Steps back, fires away, can't hit.
It's just a much easier shot. And that is the difference between mid-range shots and three-point shots. There are mid-range shots that are quote-unquote bad shots, but for certain players, they're good because of how much they've practiced it. And you're thinking about a shot that's 15 to 18 feet away versus 25. Right? It's a very different shot. And so if these are the shots that Anthony Edwards looks for consistently, then he will have a hard time. Now, this is a nitpick. I'll admit that this is a nitpick. But footwork is important. So let's take a look at here. Uses the body, right? Uses the body. Does step one to create space. And his thinking here is probably because of Chet Holmgren, and he knows he's surrounded. So his idea is, all right, let me just get up a shot as quickly as possible. But he takes a one-legged floater instead of planting that right foot down, squaring up and getting a good jumper. And he misses it. And I point that out because I don't think Anthony Edwards is a very good floater shot type of player. When he's able to set his feet in the mid-range, when you see those highlights of him putting he puts fucking KCP in a mixtape all the time, like there's players he has a good mid-range game, but he needs to plant both feet, square up and shoot. And I think that's what he needs to really work on in this offseason. He needs to really work on the mid-range game, because the mid-range game will open up driving to the lane. It'll make his hezzy a lot more effective, and it'll open up his three-point shot. And, you know, those are the things that I think he needs to work on in order to take his game to the next level. And I wanted to bring this up, right? Because, again, there's some people that there's this narrative, and I'd already put a video out on it about team basketball. And the Oklahoma City Thunder are a great team. A great team. Great team. They have great players. They have great role players. They're a great team. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I wouldn't consider him a selfish player. But even on a team that shares the basketball and plays team basketball, Shai still averaged 31. Like, it's not like It's not like Shai averaged 25. It's not like he averaged 25 a game for the series. He averaged 31.4. He shot 23.2 shots a game in this series. 23.2. He shot 10.2 free throws a game. So let's say that's another 5 shot attempts. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was shooting 28 times a game. I get that there's this narrative and that, you know, media wants team basketball, all of this shit. When it comes down to it, for the Oklahoma City Thunder, for the last 3 years, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander shooting 20 plus times a game. Closer to 30, actually. Compared to Anthony Edwards, who, yes, we understand he didn't have a good series. But he shot 17.4 shots a game this series. 17.4. Jalen Williams, J-Dub, shot 17 field goals a game this series. So Anthony Edwards, the Minnesota Timberwolves' best player, shot as many times a game as the Oklahoma City Thunder's second best player. Is not going to get the job done. I don't want to hear all this team basketball rah-rah bullshit. No, he needs to figure out a way to shoot more. And to the dumbasses out there that think I'm just telling him to chuck it up. No. It's up to him to figure out how to get good shots in the offense. It's up to Anthony Edwards and this team to figure out through film what scenarios they need to keep repeating over and over again so that Anthony Edwards can get good shots. But if he's shooting as many times as your second best as the second best player on the other team, they're not going to win that series. They're just not going to win that series. And he was in the other game talking about, oh, they're loading up on me. They're this, that, and the third. And I hate hearing this because I've heard this all week too. So we're going to pretend like they're not loading up on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We're going to pretend like guys aren't creeping over from the other fucking side of the court. No, he just going to shoot it regardless. And I get it. Anthony Edwards is 23 and Shai is 26. Anthony Edwards in 3 years can look very different from now. But this is what he needs to take and learn moving forward to make him an MVP caliber, championship caliber player. He's close. He's close. But he's still got a ways to go. Ant has no IQ. He acts like he cares, but he does not. Well, I think, and this is my honest opinion, right? I'm sure he's in the gym working out and training. I'm sure that that's what he's doing. I'm sure he's upset. I'm sure he's gonna get in the gym and work his ass off. And I think that shows care. But until he's more conscious about his life off the court, until he's more intentional with his life off the court, we've heard about the baby mama stuff. We've heard all about everything. I don't see him having the locked in focus that he needs. Because excuse me. I don't think his problem is basketball. I don't think we can nitpick and he can improve on certain things, but when it comes to dribbling, shooting, driving, defense, like his problem has nothing to do with any of that, I don't think. It's about, one, not conceding to the other team, number one. And number two, it's really about locking in on in the film room, I think, is where we will see him really elevate. It's fine that he's asking Dante DiVincenzo like what defense they're running. It's up to him now to really lock in. He needs to watch the series over and over again. And understand the defense that they were playing on him, understand where he was successful and how he can repeat that over and over again. It's not the basketball shit. Like, you faster, stronger than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you should be getting to the rim as much as he is. Your middies should get to where his mid-range is. And that's how he should look at the game moving forward, and he'll be unstoppable. The only training he does is training Punani, all those baby mamas championships. Easy, but I was wild when I said I'm tired of people, bro. Yo, I miss y'all. No bullshit. Yo. You guys are comedy, bro. I don't know what this team is going to look like moving forward. I think Julius Randle was a positive when they won games. But at times, you know, he was also missing, right? He had some really great moments. But at times he also just wasn't there. So we'll talk some more about what this team could look like moving forward as the offseason goes. But they're stepping in the right direction, and I think they need to look at the Oklahoma City Thunder and kind of build a team like they are. Right, you have a Jaden McDaniels, you have a Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I think you need to upgrade Mike Conley. You have Dante. I think you got to do something else with Rudy. You need a lob threat. There are things that they need to do moving forward that can upgrade their roster, and they need to pick. Are we going to be a defensive team? Are we going to run and gun and try to run people out of gyms? Like, what style of play are they trying to have? Because I think they have pieces to where they can sort of mimic what the Oklahoma City Thunder do by having a whole bunch of defenders. A whole bunch of guys that could rotate and switch everything. And you know, that has nothing to do with Anthony Edwards at that point, right? That has everything to do with management and coaching. So we'll see what they do moving forward. But Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row is not bad at all. But they got to keep shooting up, right? They got to keep shooting up. Now, we've already talked a little bit about Shai. And they're obviously going into the NBA championship. A lot of people picked them to win. Not me. A lot of people picked them to win. And this is my take on them, right? With the NBA moving back to NBC, right? They're going to bring back the old theme songs, all that good stuff. We've said this year that this entire season, defense was a huge part of it, which I think is the NBA's way to try to bring back old school basketball. Going back to NBC, there's a theme in play here. And if you really think about it, Could the Oklahoma City Thunder be the perfect team to win a championship going into this next era? Because this team really embodies a mix of old school and modern NBA. They have shooters. They like to spread the floor out and play 4 or 5 players out on the floor, right? But they're also built on defense. An entire team that is built on defense. And at the head of their team is a mid-range assassin. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I've said it. He has the closest game to Kobe. He's not the most athletic. He's not the fastest. He's not the strongest. He don't jump the highest. But he will footwork and body position. Like, he will do all of that to death and give you 30. He will shoot 28, 30, 35 shots and not even think about it. Like a Kobe, like a Mike Jordan. So, with the NBA seemingly trying to turn back the clock to the 80s and 90s, are the Oklahoma City Thunder the perfect poster child for that moving forward? Because what have we said before about the NBA? This is a copycat league. It's a copycat league. So people are going to look at the Oklahoma City Thunder, back-to-back number one seed and best record in the league. Now they're in the championship. People are going to try to copy what these guys do. And I think that that's a positive thing for the NBA. Super positive thing for the NBA. Players, they already love Shai got aura. Right? And all the young kids say that shit. Shai got aura. So guess whose game they're going to copy? Guess whose swag they about to walk into the gym with? Shai. So, is that what this is setting up to be? Would it be in the NBA's best interest for the Oklahoma City Thunder to win the championship because of their team composition, because of their style of play, and maybe most importantly, because of their best player, who, if you look at all the metrics for Shai in terms of just the player, the way the media covers him, this guy should be the face of the league. He should be the face of the NBA. He never says the wrong thing. He speaks confidently about himself, his game, and more importantly, his team. He always uplifts everybody. People, Kendrick Perkins was talking about Anthony Edwards can't be the face because he ain't got no kids and no wife. That's not the case with Shai. He checks off a lot of boxes. So is that what this is setting up for moving forward? It's, we'll see. We'll see. We got Scotty, and that's enough. Is Shai having aura is fake news? Hey, dog. Hey, I don't know, man. No, it's the Raptors. I don't know, dog. Fake news. I don't know. Hey, every other day you're gonna see a post about it on Instagram or YouTube. They're gonna see a post about Shai. Like, it just is what it is, man. At this point, it just feels like alley-oop. Like, at this point, it feels like an alley-oop, but we'll obviously see moving forward. There's people talking about Dynasty with OKC Thunder. We were already talking about that with Boston, and we saw exactly what the fuck happened this season. I will say, though, I think the Thunder style of play is a lot more consistent than Boston's was. Because they don't rely on the three-point shot. Because their best player doesn't rely on the three-point shot. they're a defensive-minded team, and they have a player in Shai who is gonna squeeze every bit out of that towel. He gonna wring that motherfucker till it's dry, right? It's really, to me, it's really the equivalent of, you know, when you watching like MMA, or if you're watching boxing and they'll say some shit, especially in MMA, they'll say some shit like they're trying to take them to deep water. Like, that's what I think, that's what I imagine playing the Oklahoma City Thunder are. There are teams that gave up because the Celtics are hitting threes, or even when the Warriors were hitting threes. But what the Thunder have is teams give up because of their defense. Right? That is a unique thing that they have. And honestly, the Warriors were like this too. They're just never spoken about. But when they are locked in on defense, the Thunder are, it really forces teams to quit sometimes. And we've seen that on multiple occasions this year. So congrats to those guys. Congrats to those guys, because they did that shit. Now, I swear, y'all, I was not ducking this. I promise, on everything. We're gonna talk about my New York Knicks, and we're gonna talk about them game by game ish. All right, so let me get everything situated on this. How's everybody's Friday, man? How's everybody's Friday? Everybody chilling? You guys got anything? You guys got anything planned for this weekend? We just chilling, bro. We just chilling this week. We might go see some of our friends, but that's really it. I'm behind. I just finished Nuggets Thunder series. You're not playing about quit taking out your starters in game 7 with 8 minutes left. It's crazy work. Yeah, like, it just, listen, man. Like, getting blown out in elimination games in the games is crazy work, bro. It must be like when you lost to your older brother in Suke and then tried to hoop and got beat. Yeah, that's definitely the equivalent. That's definitely the equivalent, bro. So my New York Knicks. My New York Knicks right now we are down 3-2 to the Indiana Pacers. And you might call this cope. You might call this some bullshit. I think it should be 3-2 the other way. I think we should be up 3-2 right now. And it starts with the heartbreaking game 1 loss. And I'll be honest with you, I gotta give my New York Knicks a lot of credit. Because after losing game 1, after losing game 2, and really the way that we lost game 1, I feel like a lot of other teams would have got swept. I'm going to be honest with you. I think a lot of other teams would have gotten swept by now. Because that game 1 loss, to me, that shit don't count. Like, genuinely, to me, that shit don't count. Because you could run that shit 1,000 times. They are not hitting every shot that they hit. Like, Aaron Nesmith legitimately turned into Michael Jordan and Steph Curry's baby that night for the fourth quarter. Like, this guy literally hit every single shot. And then the cherry on top was the Halliburton shot that bounced in at the end of regulation. Because if that shot don't go in or any of the other Neesmith shots don't go in, that Jeff Teague bullshit about, oh, Jalen Brunson's a ball, we wouldn't be talking about that. Because it wasn't a problem through rounds 1 and 2. It wasn't a problem. Motherfucker averaging 30. It wasn't a problem then. But because this guy wants to have a generational fucking 12 minutes of game, like, now we gonna have to talk about it. Like, coulda, shoulda, woulda, every team got him, but I'ma hear you out. Oh yeah, it does count. Well, he even hit if the what that game. Listen, nah, you know what I'm talking. You could have simulated that bitch 1,000 times. That's the only time. Like, remember in Doctor Strange, the motherfucker, like, remember the Doctor Strange shit? Hold on. Like, listen, bro. Like, this is the Halliburton been terrorizing Jayson too. That, listen, bro. Listen, that nah. They've been, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad I was with my I was glad I was with my parents that day, because no bullshit, I think I might have cried. I swear to God, bruh. Like, listen, man. That, like, we could have done this shit,
Strange.
dog.
We all right?
Listen, dog. This is exactly what game 1 was, bro. This is exactly game 1.
To view alternate futures, to see all the possible outcomes of the coming conflict.
How many did you see?
14,605,000.
How many win?
One.
You see, that's exactly what the fuck happened in game 1, bro. They Doctor Strange does. There is no way you play that out any other time in this day. There's just, I refuse to believe it. You could call it cope. I don't give a fuck. There is no way he is hitting all of them shots, bro. There's just no way. And I'm not even watching that shit back. So if that's what you thought I was going to do, that's not happening. I'm not watching shit back from that game because that shit don't count. We should be 3-2. We should be 3-2. And then not for nothing. Listen, bro. Hold on. Where is this, bro? Because I was game 4, bro. We got hold in game 4. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. Like, we got hold in game 4 too, because all of the missed calls, we didn't get no calls in that fourth quarter. First and foremost, we got no calls in that fourth quarter. None. We didn't get no calls. And then on top of that, we lost that game. What was the final in that game? 121-130. 121-130. And this is, I'm going to point out some mistakes that the Knicks had, because there were 2 threes and a layup by Halliburton that just should never fucking happen. And that's 8 points right there, bruh. That's 8 points right there that we gave up. That's 8 points that we just straight up gave up, bro. Like, just gave up to them. So here, where is this? Basketball review, therapy code. I told y'all, I've been waiting to talk to y'all all week since last week. Let me find these plays. Let me find these. This Obi Toppin shot, the Siak. All right, let's start with this Halliburton layup, bro. Like, there is no way. Listen, I'm about to cook us too, because this was some shit defense. Like, nah, my boy is literally about to walk to the rim. Like, he about to walk to that. I was losing it. Like, there's no way we should be allowing, like, it's a 6-point game. We are right there, and we're letting this man walk to the rim. All right, another one. We're going to get to that one in a second. Is this the second one? Yeah, this is. Bro, this shot pissed me the fuck off, man. JB gets stuck in no man's land. Like, I'll be honest, like, there's no reason for him to be up this high. There's genuinely, I feel like at this point, you either switch this or just get over. But the fact that he gets stuck here, hits the little short roll, and then this fucking dog shit rotation so that Siakam can get a wide open three.
It's a three, Siakam.
Dog, I was losing it. Bro, I was losing it. And then on this play, I called this play as we were watching it, man. Like, I literally, they said Halliburton hoop like he Urkel in that one scene. He really do, bro. He really do. But this is unacceptable right here.
When the clock is
Absolutely
short, here we go.
unacceptable. Like, what are we doing right here? Like, how? What?
Goes on top. It's Toppin for three.
Like, how do we give that up? How do we? I just pointed out 8 shots, 8 points. That shouldn't have happened. And then on top of that, we got Mikal Bridges putting up the bullshit. Like, yo, can y'all tell I was going through it? Can y'all tell I was fucking going through it?
Yeah, it's just great effort. Quickly to Bridges.
The bullshit. No, but that wasn't enough for him. That wasn't enough for him. He needed to double back.
Brunson will look. It's Bridges. It's a three.
Bro, I was losing my fucking mind, man. Like, like, genuinely, like, those mistakes on defense, those horrible shots on offense, we absolutely gave that game away. We could have had game 4, and had we won game 4 and the game went the way it did last night, like I said, this series could look totally different. And that's why I genuinely still have hope, because Indiana, they need to win next game, because I don't think they want to play a game 7, especially the way the series has gone, where you guys probably should have closed this series out already. They've kind of gotten away with some of it, right? And I know that we haven't played the best brand of basketball either, but at the same time, you cannot leave that opening, because now it shifts the pressure to you. And listen, man, I think, hey, I said Knicks in 7. So I would love to be motherfucking Nostradamus in this bitch. But they should have won this series by now. I think that they kind of threw last game low key, because they just didn't show up in the Garden. I'm be honest with you. There was a couple of moments where I'm like, yo, what the fuck are these guys doing? And for me, it really starts with the Knicks defense. Mitchell Robinson has been unbelievable for us. Mitchell Robinson has been unbelievable for us in terms of his defense, in terms of his impact on the boards. I mean, he's just been unbelievable. A lot of people are making out this Jalen Brunson. They're worse with Jalen Brunson on the floor, and it's just silly because we wouldn't win games if he wasn't on the floor at all either. But I do understand sort of where it comes from, and we'll address that right now. Because Jeff Teague was saying that the reason we're losing is because of Jalen Brunson. And he talked about the fact that Jalen Brunson is holding the ball for 18 seconds of the shot clock. And he's not necessarily wrong, right? But that's every star player. That's every star player has a tendency to do that on certain possessions. Like I said, it wasn't a problem in rounds 1 and 2 when we're winning games. People just want to bring it up during the losses, right? And I think the biggest problem is when Brunson and Cat are on the floor, our defense is much worse. Like I think that's really where the core of it is. It's not so much the offense as much as it's the defense, because especially a team like Indiana where the ball is moving, they have guys attacking. Any number of players could attack Brunson or Karl Anthony Towns. So that is where I think the problem stems from, not necessarily the offense, because we brought this up before. See what I said earlier? We brought this up before. You guys remember when I said the Knicks need to make a conscious effort to give Cat more touches in quarter 1, 2, and 3, to give OG more touches in quarter 1, 2, and 3, Bridges more touches in 1, 2, and 3, because we know Brunson is going to do his Jalen Brunson shit. He's going to get his shots. He's going to find a way to get shots up. You don't have to worry about Josh Hart because he'll figure his way around too. It's those other 3 players where you have to really be conscious of them getting their shots, because like we've discussed, the fourth quarter, it should be Jalen Brunson eating up 18 seconds of the shot clock to get a shot, because that's how it's worked out for them. So I really think it starts with our defense, and if Brunson is being more conscious quarters 1, 2, and 3 to get everyone else involved while he's getting his shots still, I think it's the perfect combination and the perfect game plan for us to win games. If Hallie was to lose, he wouldn't have claimed that he has no bag and does perform. What you mean? I still think he barely got a bag. But that boy nice. That boy's fucking nice still. Like, shit, man. Really, I think our problem for the Knicks is we overextend when we don't need to, right? So on this play here, and granted we're up, so I think this is a positive, because this is when we tend to get a little bit lazy, and you know, teams can start hitting shots. But do you see how no one's over exaggerating to TJ McConnell being under the basket? Trusting Landry Shamet to make a play while you stay between your man and the rim, and it forces a turnover. There was another situation. Where was it? Was it this Aaron Nesmith shot? It was right here. Another situation, right, where they defended this extremely well. Right? Switch there. Brunson does a great job of trying to stay in front of Siakam. OG doubles, understanding that Siakam likes to spin in this situation, right? Bridges is already rotating over. He makes a pump fake.
Neesmith, 1 to fire.
Great defensive sequence for the New York Knicks. And we're going to need a lot more of that consistently throughout the game if we're going to push this to 7 games. It's going to come down to our defense, and that's just the bottom line. I'm basically saying people praise you when you're winning and overlook things like Ant's immaturity when you lose. And then they bash you all of a sudden and talk about the things that's been there all the time. Sometimes guys play fine. Their team just can't get it done that time around. No, that's facts. That's facts, right? People will use a certain narrative when they lose and, you know, and it's fine when they win. And granted, right, winning and losing does solve a lot of things, right? Like winning games solves a lot of shit. I think when you're a great team, right, and I'm sure great players do this, is the ability to critique and to hold yourselves accountable even when you are winning games, right? That's how the great teams stay great, and that's how they stay consistent. I think Mikal Bridges needs to be better as well too. I've seen, like in the second last night, he didn't play the whole, pretty much all of the second quarter, and then comes in and shoots the bullshit. Let's watch this. And first of all, Josh Hart has been unreal. We'll talk about him in just a second. What is this shot, bro? Like, I get that you want to come in and get a shot off, but like, what the fuck is that? It's things like that that could propel the other team to a run, right? It's little things like that that could really help the other team out when you're putting up some bullshit. And you know, we'll talk about Josh Hart because my dad says it. He's like, you know, he's had so many turnovers, and he really has. He needs to take better care of the basketball. The last 2-3 games, it's been a lot of turnovers. It's just hard to get on a player like Josh Hart because he does so much on the floor. Like, it's hard to be overly critical with him because he plays so hard and does so many other positive things. But he needs to take much care. He needs to take much better care of the basketball now. Winning in Indiana is going to be really hard. Indiana's been a really good home team, and I get that. I get that we. What is this series right now? And I get that we stole one in Indy, or we took one game off of them in Indy, right, in Game 3. And we'll have to do it again in Game 6. That's what people don't get about Russ and Trae Young. Listen, I've been a really big proponent of this, right? This shit ain't video games. like it's not video games where you have someone like Josh Hart essentially headbanging the rim every possession, like sometimes brainlessly headbanging the rim with 100 miles an hour with maximum effort. That same player can also be the smartest, most efficient player on the basketball court. Typically, those two things don't align, right? If you're the more methodical, smart, efficient player, you're not also the player that's running 1,000,000 miles an hour, headbanging the court. Because if you were both, you would be a top fucking 20 player of all time. That's what people don't understand. That a Michael Jordan, a Kobe Bryant, these people are anomalies. LeBron, these guys are not. LeBron being the biggest, strongest, fastest, most physical guy on the floor, and also being the smartest guy on the floor, doesn't typically happen. That's why God looked at him and said, motherfucker, you're not getting a jump shot until year 18. That's why that happened. Because if you maxed everything out, that motherfucker will be God. Like, it's how shit goes. People have strengths, people have weaknesses. They can't have everything. And so that expectation, in my opinion, is so, you're asking for too much. Asking for too much out of one player when there's 4 other players out there on the floor with this guy. It's just my opinion alone, but that's how I look at the game. I'm like, y'all cannot say like, yeah, he's great at everything on the floor except one thing, then only focus on that one thing. No, that's facts. That's facts. That's facts. And I gotta bring this up. Let's see. Let's see here. How many players are this? Oh. I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to do right now. All right. The last thing that I wanted to bring up, because this is genuinely a difficult conversation for me to have, because my captain, El Capitan, Jalen Brunson, is obviously our numero uno, number one guy, best player on the team. The reality about championships in the NBA is if you're under a certain height, your chances of winning an NBA championship with that player as your best significantly lessens. It significantly lessens when your best player is 6'4" or under. There are very few instances in the entire history of the NBA where the best player on the team, the MVP of the finals, was a player that was 6'4" or under. Let's take a look at this right here. How tall is this, bro? Let's see. So since 1968-69, right? Jerry West was 6'3". I'm pretty sure. I think Rick Barry was like 6'6", 6'7". So he don't even count. He's not under 6'4". So from Jerry West, 1968-69, it wasn't until 78-79 when Dennis Johnson won it. Right? After him, wasn't until Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas under 6'4". After those two, wasn't until 2004 with Chauncey Billups. And then we had Dwayne Wade and Tony Parker in 06 and 07. And then it wasn't until Steph Curry won it in 2021, 2022. Those are all of the instances where a player that is 6'4" or under has been able to lead his team to an NBA championship and was the finals MVP. Can Jalen Brunson break that statistic? Can he be one of the anomalies who's a small point guard that leads his team to an NBA championship and is the MVP? Because we just went through it since 1968-69. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 players since 1968-69 have won the NBA Finals MVP at 6'4" or under. And I think that is kind of where the issue lies when it comes to the New York Knicks, because I used to say this about Chris Paul and Blake Griffin on the Clippers, because my dad was like, they're gonna win, they're this, that, and the third, and I would tell him, like, Dad, they're gonna go as far as Blake Griffin takes them. And the reality is, more often than not, that's just not going to be the case. Just history. That's not my opinion. Just history. That's what history has said. So, hopefully we can, hopefully he could break that. But let's take a look at this. You want me to react to both of the videos, Elijah? You want me to react to both of the videos? Let me see. Where was this one? Just going at it. Like, of course, bro. Like, of course. I will say, I mean, that was cool because it was like, it was like a fun little thing. I don't like the fact that New York Knicks fans are going at Pacers fans the way that they are. And listen, I don't know if there's context in it. I don't know if the Pacers fan was talking shit. Like we don't know what that is. But you guys are ganging up on one or two individuals at a time. And I'm gonna be the one to say it. That's some pussy shit to do. Don't be no punk. Don't jump a motherfucker. It's a basketball game, bro. It's a basketball game. And I get that we're fans. I get that we are committed to this and we spend a lot of time on this shit and we love our team and our players. But don't have a fragile fucking ego as a man to go and push a motherfucker just because he's the fan of another team, dog. That's whack. That's whack. That's whack. And if that's how you are expressing your fandom, I don't care whose fan you are. You can go fuck yourself. Cause that's just not cool. That's just not cool. Like I hate seeing these videos when they threw the garbage at the dude. This guy got shoved. Like, you're not tough going against a guy when there's 100 of y'all to one dude. That's just not, that's not tough. That's not cool. Like, I don't know what the fuck these people be thinking, but that's just not cool, man. That's just not cool. And they gotta stop that shit, bro. They gotta stop. You talking about the dude in the Pacer shit? You talking about the dude in the Pacer shit? Let's see. This one?
Pacer Nation, it's game time. All we need is one more. This is the day that Knicks fans have been dreading. If we win this game here, we are finals bound. But
what
as
is
for
happening?
Knicks fans and the New York Knicks themselves, if they lose this game,
what the fuck am I watching?
it's over for them. And they will receive the belt of despair. BTB, belt of butt. So we need to start quick and fast and blow them out as soon as possible, where the referees can't screw us. And Scott Foster, you're getting the belt too, along with
what
the
the
Knicks
fuck
fans.
am I watching? Hey,
So get ready.
hey, yo, check this out, Elijah. You gotta go sit in the corner, bro. Like, I don't know what the fuck you just said to me. I need to put your ass on timeout, dog. Like, you gotta sit in the corner. Cause what the fuck did I just watch? Wait, what the fuck? No, you consider yourself warned. You don't have to put your ass in timeout. The fuck was that? Like, I felt like he was actually talking to me. That's crazy. Dude's eyes fine, just trying to get clicks. I'm weak. Yes, fake glass eye. Consider yourself warned. Wait, you think he's wearing a fake eye? For real? You think so? I'm about to rewatch this shit. You think he really wearing a fake eye, Bruce? Why can't his eyes just be fucked up? Yo. Oh my God. We need a dunce cap on this show, bro. We need a timeout corner. We need to figure out how to put y'all on timeout, because I know y'all gonna start saying some wild shit. He'd make the perfect referee. He could watch two things at once. Boy, I had to keep an eye on the Knicks and pitch at the same time. Yes, his eye's not like that. Wait, Bruce, why are you saying that like you know him? Why are you saying that like that's the homie? Wait, shit, his eyes do look normal in this one clip. What the fuck? And then it look, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. I'm getting off this page. And you should too, Elijah. You should not get back on that page. You should stay away from that page, actually. But fuck, man, I'm glad to be back. I don't know if y'all watched any WNBA lately. Caitlin Clark is out for like 2 weeks, so I'm probably not gonna be watching. I'm probably not gonna be watching no WNBA for 2 weeks. I watch when Caitlin plays. No bullshit. But hey, the Liberty been killing. Yep. Liberty been killing. The Lynx are also been killing too. The Minnesota Lynx been killing too. So I don't know. Maybe they end up in the finals again. We'll see. But damn, man, we got a game tomorrow. So we got to prep for that. But I'm glad to be back, man. I really I missed y'all, man. I'm happy I'm back. I'm happy we're back to watching games. We're back to our regularly scheduled program, man. Excuse me, but that's going to do it for me for now. Before I get up out of here, please like, comment, and subscribe. All that good stuff. It really helps the channel out. Y'all already know. I really appreciate that. Y'all been showing mad love lately, but I'm back. I know y'all miss me. I miss y'all too. I wrote a letter requesting a 2-week freeze of play. Liberty only good New York basketball team. You followed that, man? Nah, you're bugging, bro. But that's gonna do it for me for now, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great fucking weekend, man. We're back. I'll be back here on Monday. We're gonna talk some more hoops. But yeah, man, that's gonna do it for me for now. Y'all could have been anywhere on the internet, but y'all were here with me, and I appreciate you for that. So thank you so much. I'll see y'all back here on Monday. Y'all have a good one, man. I'll see y'all later. Peace. Thank you, Elijah. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Derpy, for popping in here. Everybody else for coming and hanging out, man. I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a